you will see a prompt in your screen that the recording started. So as I've said, welcome to the first webinar. It's not mandatory to come to the webinar, but it makes a lot of sense. We will do some activities that you can understand furthermore the subject that we are running. So first of all, I'll get you right away into groups, and I want you to just chat how things are for you. What have you done? What's the issues that you've had during the course? Maybe someone else can answer you. Maybe you can get some inspiration from other students. So it's not only me all the time, but how do you help each other, and you can learn from other students as well. So we'll get into breakout rooms. Just to let you know, there are people here from two groups, from the Friday group, from the weekend group. You're all on the same kind of direction, same path. So and you may meet each other in the massage exchange. So I will get you into a breakout room. Breakout rooms are rooms for smaller group. And my question to you, and then you can listen, you can see how you can help each other. How is it with massages? How is it with anatomy? How do you feel? Are there anything that you feel concerned about? Okay, it would be around 5 minutes, and then I'll call you back to the group. So we can have assign manually. Fantastic. So here we are, 3 groups. It's assigned automatically, and you will have now a prompt to get into your group. There would be a group of 3 and 4 participants. So just make yourself comfortable, and you need to press on the screen. It asks you to get into a group. So you do need to Daniel, do you see it?
Yeah, I can see it, Joe. Is it room 3, yeah?
Yep. Just
Okay.
press on that and you go to the room. Yeah.
Okay then.
Oksana, do you see the room?
I'm not sure.
Oksana, Rosie, do you see the rooms? Daniel, can you get into your room? Oksana, you are on room.
Yeah, I am.
Where are you?
Even if
Yes, good. Good. Oksana, I'm not sure why. Are you in any room?
I don't know, I just log in.
Are you logged in? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. 1 second. Oksana just joined. Oksana, you will be on room 3. Okay, can you press on room 3? Do you see there room 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Good. To start the recording again. So the table height and body position, it's not, oh, okay, we've done it, I know it. It's something that you just keep mastering throughout the course. And yeah, sometimes it would take more than the course itself to really settle and find that. But it's a journey of looking for.
Okay. Okay.
So thank you for that, Patricia. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anything else? Chiara, please.
In our breakout room, we talked about the massage reports, and I think having a better understanding of what the expectations in terms of level of details is.
Sorry, in the report.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's something that we would need to let you know. So if you know what I can do, I have a lot of samples. I just don't want to overwhelm you. Can I put one sample
Yeah, that
of
would be
report?
helpful.
And then can I say one thing? It's not like I don't like things to be perfect from the beginning. Give it time. So you may not do the exact, maybe you do too little or too much. I will let you know on the second weekend, and then we will see an improvement. But I got it. I think that I would be happy to send you one report. I don't want to overwhelm you. And it's not like you need to follow exactly this report because I want you to write about the subject that matters to you. But I think it will be, if it will be settling you and helping you, I'm happy to do it.
Thank you.
Pleasure, pleasure. Anyone else? Um, Anyone else? I mean, we can do that also at the end. We will have a short time. So this kind of house clearing and quickly to do that rather than wait for an email, etc. Good. So let's start. You should have the skeletal system um, file. And on both groups, we have done almost, we touch everything. Certain things I will ask you to do by yourself. And now we're going all the way to page 11. And what I would like to do together is the articular system. Yeah, touch on the articular system, see how does it work, what is it, and you would see that we have three types of joints. Okay, so fibrous, cartilaginous. These are on page 11, and on page 12 we have a synovial joint. Okay, you would see. So what I would like to do now is to just summarize that with drawing, draw it together with you, so you understand by drawing what is it, and then we can move on. Okay. So what I will do now is have a short pause. I will take the camera into a place where I have a flip chart, and then with colors, I will just do it like in class, and you will do it in your own page. Yeah, like exactly like we did in class. Okay, so let me prepare everything. Okay, second. So and I would like to bring it into here. Fantastic. All is ready. And can you prepare colors? And then we could do that. It's in here. Great. So let's start. I am now on page 11, and we will start with the fibrous joint. Fibrous joint is the one that has very little movement. I'm going to kind of put in your box. This is fibrous joint. Okay, and I'm going to just show you how simple it is. Let's say, and this is an example from the skull. Okay, so we having one bone. This is a bone, and then we will have another bone. So the two bones are coming probably similar to two fingers, and they just cross each other. So there are two bones, but it's not like straight bones coming together, but they interlink. Why? Stability. It would cause more stability. And in between, you have the fiber. Okay? In this situation, like many others, it's the type of fiber is called collagen. And we came across collagen fiber before. Okay, so this is the fibrous joint, very, very strong. Doubtfully, there is any movement. So you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, is it a joint without a movement? Yes, it is, because a joint is where two bones meet together, articulate. In our situation, there is no movement. Okay? And after a while, I will show you some examples of the fibrous joint. Okay? So you can draw it with me. And the example here, or you have it in our note, it says example suture in the skulls. Okay, and we can have a look later and to see exactly the suture in the skull. If you remember the occipital bone, anyone remember the occipital bone that is on the back and the frontal bone that is on the front? Yes, so those bones will have suture joint. It will be looked well. Why? Because probably around the skull you need almost like 100% stability to protect the brain, and you don't need much mobility there. Now, I think it's enough time. We can go into the second type, and this is the cartilaginous joint. Cartilaginous joint. I have a hint. We have done it before. Okay? We have done it before on page. If you want to see, it will be identical to page 7. On page 7, we have done the spinal disc, and without knowing, this is an example of a cartilaginous joint. Okay, so but just because I wanted you to have all your material organized well, then I'm going to draw that with you again. So I'm going to draw the spine. This is a vertebrae. And here we have another vertebrae. And now we're drawing the disc. The middle of the disc will have a gel or toothpaste consistency, and that's the nucleus. It will be in the middle, and the nucleus without anything will just spill and travel and just go all over. So you need to have something strong to keep it in the middle, and that's the fibers. It's the fibers. I've never seen a real one, but it seems to be built like an onion. So it has rings and rings and rings of ligament. Yeah. So this is the green one is annulus fibrosus. And the red one is the nucleus. And I would like to show you a really good video about what happened when the disc prolapse. It's you know what they're saying, a picture worth 1,000 words and a video worth 1,000 pictures. So really, a video is it's so amazing that suddenly you realize you can see in reality what happens, because a lot of the time things happen in our body and you can't even imagine what's going on there. I mean, it's surreal. There's so many conditions and structures that see them really makes a big difference for me. I like to visually see it, so then I can relate to it, and it's not only like word. That's why I like drawing, because you can see kind of, okay, wow, okay, it stick to your memory a lot better. Okay, now we're going to the third one, and then I'll take some questions. And then I'll show you some videos and some images of those. Okay, so I will take another piece. Good. And now we're drawing the page 12, the synovial joint. Okay, this is the synovial joint. Wait 1 minute. Just want to see. Okay, so let's start by, so I'm on page 12 in the note, just to kind of see where we are. And then we're going to see the synovial joint together. Let's start with the joints, the two bones themselves. And so here is one bone. And here is a second. This is the bone. Oh, the color is not very good. And bone. I'll need to draw that. So this is a bone. Yeah. And this is another bone here. Okay. Now let's see what comes further. First of all, and that we did before, is the articular cartilage. So it goes in here and kind of like, maybe like that. Okay, so this is the, okay, so this is the articular cartilage. Or sometimes it's called hyaline cartilage. What is this about? What is the function of it? How does it look like? So it's very thin. As you could see, it wraps around the edges. It's very thin and looks very slippery. It's very smooth. When you touch the edge of it, it's very smooth. The function of it is when you have two cartilages is to move smoothly. So the joint would work smoothly without a lot of friction. And that's great because with friction, I reassure you that there will be an inflammation here. Okay? Now, we're going here into a little bit advanced stuff, is that the cartilage does not have a good blood supply. Why? Because if you supply the cartilage from here, then when you're moving, it will break the blood vessels. Yeah, you can see the two here. Imagine that there would be a blood vessel here. Oops, it's stuck in between the two cartilages and it will burst. And you have some blood supply coming to here, but it's not really enough. Okay, this is blood. So we can see that sometimes there are issues here, as we will know in the future, in very close future, in a condition that called osteoarthritis. Okay. Later on today, I want to kind of evolve and talk and tell you about clients and make you thinking about osteoarthritis because it's very common. This is what most people have after age of 50, 60 in some places. Okay? But I'm not there yet. So we're coming back to the cartilage. It's very slippery, it's very thin, and the function of it is to reduce friction in a joint. Okay, next one is the joint capsule. Now, the joint capsule is kind of from here to here, but it is a mistake to look at it this way. It's a capsule. Why it is a mistake? Oops, because we need to see certain things in 3 dimensions. Okay, and in 3 dimensions, the capsule, if we have 2 bones, the capsule will be like a sleeve, and the sleeve will glue to here and to here. So it will be like, you know what? Let me take. Good. So imagine I have like a plastic bag and I just kind of tear it even. And then the joint capsule will be something like that in the middle. You see? So you see the 2 bones together, but they having a sleeve around it, and it will be glued really well here and to the other side. So it will create a space in the middle. Okay, this is the space in the middle. And then into that space, we'll see something very, very unique will happen, that there would be a blood circulation and the blood will go into the joint, and here we'll just do, it creates very thin blood vessels that called, so it's similar to blood vessels, but we'll see that it's a special blood vessels. So this is a blood vessels, and this part here would be slightly different, slightly, really slightly, and it will call synovial membrane. Okay, and synovial membrane is kind of part of blood, but one different, it keep all the blood cells in and take all the nutrients into here. So this would be nutrition, like oxygen, all the things that in the blood, but it keeps the blood cells inside the membrane. So it's like a filter, if you want. It is a filter, blood is coming, and in the blood you have blood cells, and you have oxygen, and you have glucose and sugar and protein and fat and vitamins and minerals all in the blood. So when it comes to here, this membrane will filter. It would keep the cells inside, and all the goodies will go outside, and it will become a synovial fluid. So the blood will make here fluid. Now, why this fluid? What's the whole purpose of it? To nourish the cartilage. Remember, we've said that the cartilage does not have a good blood supply. It still needs to live. So it will be supplied indirectly from the synovial membrane. Complicated, huh? So here we have cartilage. Cartilage does not have a good blood supply. So you need to supply it somehow with oxygen and nutrients. So the blood will filter itself and send the supply here into the cartilage. Complicated solution for a real problem. Okay, so this is the synovial membrane. And maybe a few more things before we're moving on. What else we have here? We will have, you see the capsule here, the green capsule, you will have some thickening here of the capsule, and this would be called a ligament. So what is a ligament? A ligament is, again, connective tissue. Everything is made up of collagen. That ligament is a piece of connective tissue that connect across a joint from a bone to a bone. And the function of it, it would limit the movement. So then the movement would not be too much. If the movement is too much, then we're into trouble. Okay, guys, I will take I'll take some questions and then I'll show you some examples. Okay, so any questions on first on the synovial joint and then on the rest? Actually, on all of this. so far? Remember that if you do have a question, this video, you can watch it again on that hashtag ap3.s14. Just put it on the virtual campus, on the search box, and then you will see it there. Cool. I would leave it. We might come back to it. And now I would like to take you back into the where my computer is, and then we will continue. But 1 second. Good. And I am mounted here back. Oops, 1 second. So let me show you a few examples of this before we're moving on, and I will just share the screen with you. Okay. First, I will open that, and then I will open. Okay, this is an app. You can use it for free, or you can have a subscription, I think, of $3 or $4 a month, and it's fairly simple. I like it. It kind of show you a lot of things. So you can take the skin, you can see all the muscles here, and you can take slowly the muscles out, and then you can see all the internal organs. So you can take even the internal organs, and then you can see all the blood circulation, and the yellow are the nerves. So it looks quite complicated, but we want to make our life simple. So for now, I will just use that to show you the suture joint. Okay? Do you remember we've talked about the first joint that is, do you remember the name? It's called fibrous joint. Okay? And this is a good example of a fibrous joint. It is a joint because the bone on the back is called occipital, and those on the side look parietal bones. So for all purpose, there is a joint here, and this joint it doesn't look very straight, isn't it? It looks like very convoluted, and that would ensure that the connection between the two bones are very, very strong. So you ask yourself, what the heck? Why do we need a joint? Why don't we just have one bone? Right? Why do you just have one bone, and then why do you need two bones together and make all this complicated stuff? The reason is that there is one time during our lifetime that we need this joint, and that is during childbirth. Okay? And listen to the problem we have. Compared to either primate or mammals, the human brain, the human head is really big. Okay? Compared to what? Compare to the size of the hip. When a child is born, it needs to go through the hip. There is a circle there, and the child head needs to go in. Now, if human brain and human head is bigger, and On top of it, human hip is smaller. Why? Because when you're walking on 4, you can have a wide hip. But when you're walking on 2, you need the legs to be closed. So the hip in women, in men and women, in human, is narrow. Do you see the conflict? Big head, small hip. How are you going to put the baby's head into it? And here, these joints are very useful. I'm now showing you the baby's head from above. Okay? Now, this is the baby's head. Now, when it borns, look to what happened. The head is squashed. So this joint is used when the baby's head going through the birth canal because it becomes smaller. You see the head becomes smaller. It becomes pointier from here, whoop, like that. So then it can be delivered. So a lot of people saying that, and correct, that when they see the baby's head, it looks like a pointy head, you know, and after a while it starts to kind of go back and, you know, form the right form, and then it will be fixed. This joint will be fixed. Okay, so I thought it's really interesting to see how so many factor needs to meet together that to make us who we are and to allow our body to function. So this is about the suture, the synovial, the fibrous joint, and you can see it here. Next is, why don't we go? Why doesn't want to? Oh my God, I'm traveling into the brain for some reason. How do you make that small? Maybe, oh, here it is. Yeah, good, okay. Now I want to show you the cartilage, okay? But the second joint, and that is the spinal disc, okay? So you see very clear, you see two vertebrae above and below, and the disc is in the middle, okay? Now, from the front is easy to see. From the back, it's kind of complicated because there are so many bits of bone sticking out there and would be difficult to show you, okay? Here it is. So you can see what I've said. It's really difficult because you have a lot of bones also on the back. So from the side, you could see that, yeah? Vertebra above, and the disc in the middle, okay? So this is that, but I want to show you a really good video that I hope I can find it quickly. It will just show you how, here we are. You know what? Yes, I know where to find it, I hope. Give me a second. So this might be in a pathology because it is a condition. I want to show you a condition of what's called slip disc. Have you heard about the slip disc? So I'll show you now why it's not correct, why the disc does not slip, but something else happened. But as I've said, it's always better to see it. Good. This is a herniated. Yes, here it is. I hope that the video is still there. So this is in, yes, good. So this is in the part of the virtual campus that deals with conditions, okay? So you can visit there and learn about conditions and how to massage with different conditions. And we will do the first tryout today. We will do the first working out on how to tailor massage to a condition. Okay, so again, just when you go to the virtual campus, look for pathology and massage recommendation. Okay, and then you will see all the list. Okay, but I want to focus on one that is called slip disc or entrapment of a nerve. And I will go through it with you once, and then after that, we will stop and see it slowly. Good. I'll tell you when it starts. Okay, it starts here. Okay, so what do we see? The gray area on the front, this is the disc itself. Okay, and the yellow bits all around is the vertebra. What do you have in the middle, with a bit of a red in the middle, pink in the middle, is the nerves. We can call it nerves, but later we'll see that the central one is the spinal cord, and then the nerve that goes outside. Okay, now let's see what happened in the disc. So what you see now, that the disc has a nucleus, a purple part, and the ligament that wraps around and keep it in the middle. So the disc does not move. Okay? So this is what happened. Now we start seeing that there is a weakness. The gray area that's supposed to keep the disc in the middle overstretched. And now the disc bulge. It's like on a bicycle sometimes you get the tire is bulging out. Okay, it's too weak and it bulges out. Okay, you still see that there is no contact with the nerve, but then we'll see next level what could happen. Okay, it bulges. Now it prolapse. What's the difference? In the bulge, the disc, the nucleus, the middle part stays inside the disc. Now it oozed outside, it pushed outside. Now the purple, the nucleus is pushed outside, and you see that it starts pressing on the nerve. Okay? And that can cause impinged nerve and a nerve pain. Okay, so this could be on the back pain or in the neck pain, but that would be the consequence. Okay, let's do it again. So you would see here the disc and it starts bulging. Not a big problem, it could be pain, but then boom, it prolapsed, pushed against the nerve, causing nerve pain. We can talk some other time about it, and you can see that it's a lot more angrier. Cool. So this just gives you a bit of a taste of like what is it, and a bit of an understanding about the different types of um, the three types of joint. Okay. Again, a pause and questions. Every time I would like to take a pause, see if you have any questions before moving on.
Would you class that what you've just shown us as a is that sorry, oh I've forgotten the word I was looking for.
Sorry, Patricia, can you raise
Yeah,
your
sorry.
voice? I can't hear you.
Is that classed as sciatica or is that something different?
Sciatica. Yes. So a sciatica is exactly the type of what I showed you.
Okay.
It would just be a trap on the sciatic nerve rather than other nerves.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is a good example, and there are many different. You can entrap the radial nerve and the median nerve and the sacral nerve. So yeah.
I had a question.
Please, Emily.
So what's the treatment if somebody has a slip disc? I'm guessing that's like extremely painful if it's pressing on a nerve. And yeah, what's the treatment? And I imagine like it's not good to massage if they're in,
Hmm.
or yeah, how is it? Yeah, what's the process if it happens to you?
I know. Can I say something, and then we will have a full webinar about this subject. But I like to mix what we do ahead of time and then go back. So we're mixing things. First of all, I want you to recognize that it's a bit scary to like suddenly take the responsibility and like, oh, you have someone shouting with pain, with nerve pain. What are you going to do? So first of all, acknowledge that there are certain things that will take sometimes before you come to a good plan before knowing it. Okay, so it's something we started the course a week ago, and we aiming to go and to have a treatment plan and understanding when to do, when not to do, but it's still early days. Okay, now generally when someone has a condition, what you need to do, and this is really, really important, and I will repeat it in the webinar that we do and a few times. I give you two examples of two people with a trapped nerve. And you tell me, what do you think you want to do? Okay? To person one. This person has a trapped nerve for 2 months. At the beginning, it was horrible, really painful. He couldn't go to work, and then slowly it subsided. Now it's only an ache. He can go back to the gym. He's careful, but sometimes he feel a bit of an ache here and there. But then he walk and he just put some activation, and it's fine. Sleeping well, everything is all right. So this is one person that has trapped nerve. It's still considered to have a trapped nerve, but it's not that bad. Person two just had an incident yesterday of just bending and having a shooting pain into his back and his leg. The pain is horrible. He couldn't sleep well. He is limping. He feels pins and needles in his leg. So the two people will have the same condition, but different severity. Do you see the problem? Are you treating them the same? No. For the first one, you can probably give a relaxing massage, maybe even helping them with muscles there that are tight, but you can do it. To the second person with a severe pain or so, you just leave. You don't do anything. So you see, the problem is not only knowing the condition and going to like a list and saying, oh, the trapped nerve, you can do A, you cannot do B. Is not happening. There is no manual like that. This is an art. We need to fit what we think works for this client and not too much. So, Emily, my answer is to be continued. Yeah, but you start to develop that understanding that there is no right and wrong. Sorry, that right and wrong is relative to the severity, and start to observe that. You know, can I say one thing? The same is for every condition, not only in massage. Someone has high blood pressure. If it's a mild problem, the GP go and give him medication. If it's a severe problem with other issues, the GP will send them to a specialist, and the specialist needs to find exactly how much from this medication, how much from that medication. So it's very different. Both of them will have high blood pressure, but the severity will change the treatment. So I want you to just start to understand that aspect. And we work out today an example, easier example about a joint condition for that. This seems to be all right, Emily?
Yeah, thank you. That's, yeah, makes sense. Would you, when you have massaged someone with a slip disc, have you been like conscious? You've been like maybe more gentle. It seems like you wouldn't want to go
Absolutely.
like super deep in the area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we will develop that cautiousness, carefulness, not taking too much risks, um, checking out if we're doing the right thing. Yes. So you don't want to hurt, right? So all of this will be a development of you as a therapist, which is really, really important.
Yeah.
Can I ask a slightly technical question on the slip disc thing, which is just because I had that exact thing happen to me. And when I was told after looking at the MRI, they were sort of saying you can essentially you can have a disc impact a nerve even if it's not prolapsed. So even just bulge can impact the nerve. So
Correct.
is that correct? Yeah. So
Correct.
basically the really extreme nerve damage or impact, it would probably be prolapse, but it might just be like a bulging. It might not have come through.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So what Rose is saying is that sometimes what looks not that bad would actually have a stronger influence on the person. And this is correct for all, you know. Some people diet. Some people are smoking. And they're like smoking only very little and they have an effect. And some people can smoke more and they don't have an effect. So even in a trapped nerve, it's not exactly how it looks, and maybe something that looks in the MRI small could have a bigger impact on the person. In any way, we go with the client, we go with the symptoms of the client. How are you? Is it really painful? I would leave it to you. If it's not, because this is a good indication to how much you can do. It's a good indication to how much you can do. More questions before we're moving on? Cool. So now I will give you a scenario and I will give you 5 minutes to try to sort out what are you going to do in this situation. Now, what's your option? First option, give a regular massage. Second option, have a local contraindication. Remember, local contraindication is you are avoiding working on a specific area. The third option is a total contraindication, means you don't give massage to the whole person. Okay, so here is a scenario, and I would like you to listen, and I will do it twice, so maybe you can recognize that, and then after that, maybe you want to write it shortly, and then I want you to think about two things. First, any further question you want to ask this person. Okay? And you know what? Let's do it one by one. Let's do just that. What are the further questions you want to ask this client? And remember, we want to assess them. Now, you can ask all sorts of questions this client, including where had you been on a holiday and what's your grandmother's favorite pudding. But what you want to know is, what you want to ask are questions that will give you the information you're looking for, which is what are you going to do about this client. So try to be having questions that are more relevant to this condition. Okay, so here is the condition. A client comes to you and they suffered for a joint pain for a while and it's just getting worse and worse. They've been told that they have arthritis, and last 3 days they played badminton or sport, and now they have a lot of pain. You can see that the joint is swell, so it looks a bit big and hot. What other questions you want to ask this client? Okay, so what other questions? And it might be 2-3 questions, it's not much, but I want you to start to think about it this way. And then I will put you in the breakout room and I will give you 5 minutes. So the breakout rooms are open. Please, Rose and Gila, I will just subscribe you to one of the group. Gila, I'll put you in like group 1, and Rose to group 3. Okay, again, you just need to press on the fantastic, good. Natalia, if you want to press on, you are on group 2. Thank you. So this is the second part of the webinar, and I think everyone came. Yes, good. So anything you want to share? And can I say one thing? One thing that is important during the course is that you need to know yourself. If you are very quiet, give yourself a chance to communicate. I think that it's important when you are a therapist to be kind of in the middle, not to be too shy, take some risk, communicate with, it's only us here. So if you make any mistake, we will forgive you. And there is no such thing as mistake, right? So I want to hear from as many people as possible, because I feel that it's also a good preparation for being a therapist. Okay, so if you not talking a lot, then take a chance. I'm not going to ask you personally to do that, but I give you an opportunity for it. Okay, so go for it. What did you discuss? What kind of questions do you want to ask this client to see if they suitable for treatment?
The first question is the severity of the pains.
Great.
And then I would ask if the client has seen his GP for any medication and what the client was doing before the incident occurred.
Okay. So how much pain? This would be like a quite straightforward. You've asked for pain or for severity?
I would ask for severity of the pain.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Esther. So severity of pain, severity of the symptoms. Have you went to the GP? If someone went to the GP, you probably kind of guess that it's more severe, isn't it? Yeah, good. Thank you. Esther, anyone else want to join in and putting their questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask, please.
Please.
Maybe some prefer the techniques is the first question. Maybe second question,
Sorry?
allergic to prefer the techniques. What type of techniques they preferring?
Okay.
It's allergic to oil or creams.
Okay. Is it related to the problem, the oil?
Yes, maybe.
If they would be allergic or non-allergic, is it relating to the problem that they're coming with?
Yeah, I think so.
How?
The discomfort, come discomfort up.
So if they're allergic is a different issue.
Yeah.
It is valid, it's important, but it might be a different issue. Yeah. But I think that there is truth. You want to ask if they're allergic, but maybe give it a bit of time and then say, okay, we sort now the back pain. Do you have allergy?
Okay.
Yeah. Good. What was the second one?
The pain or discomfort in specific areas.
So where is it? Isn't it? It's good.
Yeah.
Where is the pain? Where is discomfort? Good. So show them. And one thing that I like to do, instead of the client telling me, I ask them, can you point out? Okay. Can you point out where the pain is?
Injuries.
Thank you, Nikolai. Sorry?
Injuries or surgeries before.
Injuries before. Yes. Did it happen before? Good. Other people, do you have any other questions to ask?
I would probably ask something if the pain is particularly strong after playing a sport, or is that the same pain before badminton or now?
The pain came after badminton. They play badminton and then the pain came a lot more. And did I tell you where the pain is?
No.
So I think you see why question of Nikolai, where is the pain? Where is it? Is it in your head? So the pain is in the knee joint, and it's swelling in the knee joint. Now the pain. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that, Draw. We spoke about asking them whether the pain increases when they're in a particular position, because if it's in the knee, maybe it's going to be painful for them to lie down on their front. So asking that question and discussing what's going to be most comfortable for them.
Great. This can also apply to whether which position would you give the massage. Yeah. So that's very important. But you can see, maybe I can start to summarize. It's kind of going through what Nikolai is saying. Where is it? Show me where. It's very important. Show me where it's in the knee. And then I forgot who was first that asked the severity. What is the severity? You can ask many others questions like what Rojin saying and Emily and others to kind of just get a better picture. But it's really about the severity of the symptoms and where is it. Okay? Now, if I say that we want to, and then we'll finish with this, there is one question that can tell you what is the severity. And this question is going such: how does this pain affect your life? Okay, so the answer to this question will give you the severity. What's the options? Oh, Mr. So-and-so, you coming with a knee pain, how does it affect your life? I would say, not much. You know, I have a bit of a pain, I'm and I can go to work. So it doesn't seem to be severe, right? If you're asking another client, Mrs. So-and-so, how does this knee pain affect your life? And she would say, oh, terrible. I cannot go shopping. I go with the stairs and it's really painful. Then you know it is severe. Okay? So the art here, and I will finish and we'll go to the last subject, but we will come back to it, is how to ask question that tells you about the severity, because you need to make a decision. Are you going to treat? Which technique you're going to give them? It's not up to the client, it's up to you. Are you going to do deep tissue, not deep tissue? So you want to ensure that you ask the right question. By far, the best question is, how does it affect you? How does it affect your daily life? And you will know. Okay? So we start developing it, see how it is. Cool. Last subject for today.
I have a
We're
question.
going. Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's say you have clients with different conditions. So we already know that we have different techniques. Are you going to use a specific oil for different conditions or just a particular oil?
Same oil. There is no difference in the oil. If you will take a different approach of aromatherapy, then you will have the essential oils, and there would be a big difference. But in massage, there is no difference in the oil. No difference in the oil. It seems like you're disappointed. But there would be.
Yes, it's just.
Yeah. Massage, it's not about the oil. It's about the technique. There are many different oils, and each one with different properties, but I've never ever seen in massage someone said that they are going to choose a different oil because of the condition. It's not in the approach of a massage. It's in the approach of aromatherapy, which easily can be confused at times. Aromatherapy, you're just smearing oils. Massage, you give a massage. So there is a difference between the two. Best is to do both, but no different in oils.
Dror, I have a question.
which kind of technique you can give your clients if he has damaged tissue on the shoulder?
I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I don't know.
Why?
Because I need to ask questions to the client to understand if it's severe, is it mild, is it too
No,
much
it's severe.
pain?
Yes, so much pain. He couldn't
So I
move.
don't know. So I would need to cut this because I really don't know.
Yeah.
And then what you would need to go and ask the client is to get more more details, but also I want you to realize, guys, it's not that you can throw at me like, oh, this person has this condition, what can you do? It's not about that. You need to understand that when people go to the doctor, that's why doctors don't like to do online, like, oh, tell me what to do. I have pain here, what to do? Well, it can be 50 different things that cause you pain here. So wait a little bit. I'm not able to tell you without further investigation. And because I don't want to do things that are just quickly, then if we'll have time, we will do. If you want, Oksana, you can tell me a bit more, find a bit more, but just because someone has shoulder pain, I can't tell you what would work. Yeah, start to understand that it's not like, oh, I have pain here, what can I do? I don't know, really. So this is where assessment is important. This is where understanding where is it coming from, how severe it is, how did it start, is it getting better, do you have other symptoms? It's not that simple. Okay? For now, just recognize that I can't do that and no one else can do. Just give you, oh, well, do this and do that. And it's not that simple and straightforward.
Yeah, but
Assessment takes time.
if the
Okay?
client said, I had injured like last night and I still have very, very big pain. I couldn't move my shoulder. I've been in GP and GP did X-ray and nothing damaged and just damaged tissue. So he came
For
to me for
now,
the massage.
sure, okay. For now, I want you to see what's going on in the webinar, okay? You started the course 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
okay? Slow down,
Ah, all right.
okay? Good. You know a technique and a half. Slow down, guys. Okay? It will come. It can take years to learn. I start feeling like, oh my God, I need to give them an answer. I don't know what. It's like, I don't know. It takes time. You will develop understanding and seeing what the client, what caused it. It takes time. Okay. And, you know, she went to the doctor. The doctor know more than me. The doctor couldn't help her. So let's realize what is our expectation. Otherwise, we can shoot ourselves in the leg to trying to help everyone too quickly. It will take time. So let's come back to the webinar, continue, and then see how we can keep working on the foundation, and then see how we can help as many people. Okie doke. So I am here. Yes, good. And just to be sure, I am going to be, oops, where are we? Yes, in the virtual campus. I want to show you where we are. So I will go to the course and then to the muscular system. So again, I'm on level 3. muscular system. I just want to reach to the right handout, anatomy and physiology. So you see where things are. Anatomy and physiology, and then muscular system. Cool. Good. So here, the first one is what I would like to continue. The other one are about different muscles, and I will show you. So we have done this one as well, and this one as well. Okay, so I gave you 3 handouts. Let's see what are those. First is how to learn muscles, action, and movement. Okay, very not easy subject. Can I say one thing? Please watch the video M6, and here there are other 2 videos, M7. Why doesn't, yes, here, M7 and M8. Yeah, here they are. Okay. And it's very difficult without the videos too, so I would leave this to the video. Only after you're doing it well, start to learn the muscles movement. Okay? Because here you have the trapezius extend the head. What is extension? That's why you want to see those video on those document first. Okay? Now, another learning help is the muscles themselves. It's in the first link, and you would see the videos that I've said here, and here you have individual muscle pages. So what I did, I built each muscle a page, so then you can see how it works. Okay, deltoid, for example. So this is like a book, you know. You could see the deltoid, kind of how it builds, where it is, and then you could see the movement. Look now, the movement. So it moves to the side. So this is a lot better than books, because in books you can't see. But here you can really see how we move, and that's the benefit of having videos. Okay, so use this. I'm not expecting you to know it by a month, but actually start to do more and more from the 45 muscles we learn. Okay. Now, what I want to pay attention today is in the muscular system. We have covered all the way. Most of it, some of it I've said you can do it alone at home. And I would like to go now to the last page. This is page 6, and the subject is aerobic and anaerobic blood supply. So how does muscle use energy? Okay, and I'm going to read it together and kind of explain that while we're going. Ooh, not right. While we're going, so it will be easier. I think that students find it difficult, so then I've always tried to simplify that to make it easy for you to understand. Okay, so it goes like that. While contracting, muscle need a lot of energy coming from nutrients we eat. So we eat sugar, fat, and protein, broken by the digestive system and carried by the blood to cells. For those, muscles use mostly sugar or glucose. Okay, so this is the first thing that cells and muscles need for energy. Energy is what makes us alive. And for muscles to contract, they need a lot of energy. So first is the nutrients. The second thing that we need is oxygen. To have energy, we need oxygen coming from the lung, then carried by the blood, circulation to cells. Okay? Then the nutrients above are supplied to muscles via blood circulation. So the nutrients and the oxygen are carried by the blood circulation. Okay, goes with circulation into the muscle. Now, the amount of blood of any given time entering into a muscle varied. So sometimes blood will receive a lot of circulation. Sometimes the muscle will get less circulation, less circulation of blood. I want you to try it with me, okay? And do that. Put your hands this way, and I want you to observe the color of your hand, of your palm. The color of your palm would say is mostly representing the amount of blood you have. Okay? So if you have it, if your palm is relaxed, it will be red. Now, can you squeeze the muscles in your palm? Now look at that, and then see that where is squeezed most, the color turned white. Do you see that? The color turned white, and when you relax, colors come back. So what can we learn from that? Whenever you have contraction of muscles, static contraction all the time, blood is really difficult to get in. Makes sense, isn't it? It's like a sponge. You squeezing a sponge, liquid not getting into the sponge, but it's getting out of the sponge. You're squeezing all the water from sponge. So same every time. You know, if you're having a muscle that is relaxed, no problem. You have a good blood circulation. You're having a muscle that is contracting, it's fairly hard to get blood into it. And it's a bit of an enigma because when the muscle contracts, it needs nutrients, but the nutrients are in the blood and it's difficult to get the blood into the muscle. Okay, so that's why muscle become achy, muscle becomes spastic or hard or tired. A lot of it is because the blood circulation does not work when the muscle is tight. Okay, so let's go back into here, and then I'm continuing from here. The amount of blood at any given time entering into a muscle is depending on what the muscle does. When the muscle continuously contracting and relaxing, the blood is the highest. It's called muscle pumping. What does it mean? Let's do it together. Okay? The muscle contract, relax, contract, relax, contract, relax. This is creating a better circulation. Every time you contract, blood goes away. Every time you relax, blood comes back. Contract, relax. Blood out, blood in, blood out. It's very good. So things like walking, when you have it continuously, that's the best for a muscle. Okay, so this is the first choice. The second one is that if the muscle constantly relaxes, which doesn't happen a lot, blood supply is reasonable. Okay? But when a muscle continuously contracts, as in long-term stress, yeah? So if the muscle constantly contract like a long stress, the blood supply to the muscle is the lowest, giving low oxygen. Because if the blood is not coming to the muscle, then the blood carries the oxygen. You don't have blood, you don't have oxygen. The blood is the car, the vehicle where oxygen is coming into the muscle. Cool. Now, before starting and really getting into aerobic, have you heard about aerobic, anaerobic? You probably heard about aerobic exercise, anaerobic exercise. Okay, so I'll make sense of it. Okay. And here we have another subject, converting glucose and oxygen. Okay, now what is it? Energy in our body is similar. It always reminds me of money, of currency. So let's say in the UK, we have British pounds in a bank account, yeah, and it's worth £100. Okay. Now, when you take that £100 and you travel abroad, if you want to buy in a shop in Mexico with British money, they don't say, oh, what is this paper? They understand it's money, but they want you to convert it into pesos, into Mexican money. Yeah? So the same thing happened in the body. We have energy in food, but the body cannot use it. The body can use energy only with the local currency, if you want. Only when only when the body knows how to use that, and it's not with oxygen. The body can transform oxygen into something else. So the energy that the body can use is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You don't need to remember the full name, but here I would like to read that converting, what is conversion is. The body cannot use the energy stored in the oxygen and glucose and need to convert it into a usable molecule called ATP. Okay? And this one I would like you to know, ATP. The full name, forget it, that's not important. This conversion from glucose and oxygen into ATP happens inside the cells. So again, let's think about energy in our body. You know what? Let's think about energy in our bank account. You go and work, you having money, British money in the bank account, you can spend it. You go abroad, you need to convert the money into the local currency, and then you can spend it. Then you can do work with the money. The money can do things for you. Same thing happened in the body. We eating energy, we eating food, and we having oxygen, and it needs to be converted into ATP. Then all the body cells can use ATP to do work for the body. For example, muscle contraction. Muscle contraction needs energy. So you can say, oh, energy is in the food, but the body doesn't know how to use it. It needs to convert it into ATP, and then you have ATP, it can use it. Now, there are two ways that conversion to ATP will happen. First is aerobic condition. The second one is anaerobic condition. So let's take the first one, okay? Aerobic condition is where we have a lot of oxygen or blood to help in the conversion to ATP. So if we have in glucose and oxygen, you will get a lot of ATP. And that's great. So you can do a lot of activities, yeah? Like, I give you an example. If you're walking, so when you're walking, you have a steady flow of oxygen into your body. Fantastic. You are doing it easily, you're having a lot of ATP. And that means that you have a lot of energy. You're not feeling tired. You are fine. But sometimes you do something extreme. You see the bus and you want to run quickly for the bus. Now, if you run quickly to the bus, suddenly you need a lot of ATP, but sometimes you don't have enough oxygen because the oxygen has a limit to how much it can enter your body. So suddenly you need a lot of money, but your salary is not that high. So you go into overdraft. Yeah? So same happen in a body. You just get into overdraft. You don't have a lot of money. So you're going to pay for it. Yeah? So now we can look at the anaerobic conditions. This is where the oxygen is low. Yeah? So you don't have enough oxygen. So here you have glucose without oxygen, because remember, you're running into the bus and you don't have enough air to bring in to breathe, and you are short of breath. And then you get, because you don't have enough oxygen, you get less ATP. Means less energy. And also you get lactic acid. Okay? So that's not good. Lactic acid makes your muscles tired, and you get all the kind of cramps, and then you need a massage or something like that. Yeah. So this is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic conditions. Aerobic with oxygen, and because you have oxygen, you get plenty of ATP energy. Everybody's happy. Anaerobic, you don't have enough oxygen, then you get less ATP and more lactic acid, and your muscles feel tired. This is when you do a fast running and suddenly, like, your muscles feel achy. That's it. That's it. Sounds a lot today. I don't know. It seems like either you're tired or it's was difficult for you. I'm not sure whether you need a bit of time to go over that and see. And if not, you can first you need to try it yourself, see how things are, what you're not understanding, and then after that, I'll be happy to answer some questions and see where you are. So that's where we're standing at. What next? First of all, in the virtual campus, we have that course timetable. And in the course timetable, either you are on the weekend or the Friday, it's going to the same place. You will have all the information we have done on a particular, this is the theory day 1. Okay, so you both group done the theory day 1. You will have all the systems and it will go into the details of all what we've learned. But this is what I wanted to show you. These are the quizzes. So we have a lot of questions that after learning, you want to test yourself. You want to see if you've done well. You can go open it. And then you have lots and lots of questions. And then to test yourself, you also have the answers themselves. Okay? So after that, just check and see whether what you know, what you don't know. It's a fantastic way to see, to examine and see what have you done? Are you in the right direction? Do you need any help? What exactly you don't understand? So then you don't thinking, oh, well, I don't know everything. No, you know, maybe half of it you still don't know. You need to know what exactly you don't know. So this is a nice way to identify problems, then go back to the notes and see what you need to learn. All the questions that are taken are similar to the one you will have in final exam. So also is a way to learn for the final exam for now. That's it, guys. Let's take last few questions from you before having a bit of a pause, giving you time to digest, and then getting from you some feedback with questions. So any questions that
I have a question.
Yes,
Magdalena.
Magdalena. Yes, Magdalena.
So the last part that you cover, aerobic and anaerobic conditions for ATP, creating ATP and absorbing ATP in. I generally understand this topic, but my question is, to a contrary, you would think when you're running, your blood supply is working quicker, so muscles would be more oxygenated and there is more blood, but it seems like it's not, and that's why we create the lactic acid. Why is it that walking is
So
better?
there is some, yeah. It's very interesting because there are few parameters that we need to consider.
Yeah.
You are right. If I'm jogging lightly, then I have a fantastic blood supply. I breathe, I have enough oxygen coming into my blood,
Mhm.
and it carries to the muscles. But now I want to run fast. Here I have a problem. Why? If I run fast, let's say if I jog, my body needs 80% oxygen. I just throw a number, okay? And I can breathe in 80% oxygen. Now I see the bus. Now I need to run fast. Now my muscles need 150% oxygen.
Ah.
Ooh, I cannot breathe fast enough. I can't do it. I'm in overdraft.
So you probably have a great blood supply, but the blood doesn't have enough oxygen to create
Yes.
the ATP.
Yes, that. And also, sometimes if the muscle is tight, it does not relax enough to allow more oxygen to come.
Thank you.
Complicated, isn't it?
Mhm.
There are so many parameters there. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I have a question, if that's okay. When
Yes,
there's a lack of when there is a lack of ATP to a muscle and a lack of oxygen, would there be an example you could give that we would know what that would feel like in the body?
yes.
Like when it's
Go
happened
and
over a
run.
long period of time.
Go and run 300 meters super fast. And when you feel your muscles achy,
Yeah.
and so this is where your lactic acid accumulate and you feeling, I don't have energy.
Sorry, what I meant, was more when it's in a muscle that's been contracted for an extended period of time, say for example several months, or from sedentary lifestyle when we've got tension in our necks, for example. What would that feel like when there's a lack of oxygen over an extended period of time?
It would just feel like a muscle pain and a muscle tightness. That's what is it. It's the same as what we feel all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we know the back end. So there is nothing new into. It's just when your muscles are tight, that's what happened to them.
Yeah. Okay. So would it be correct to say, maybe as an example, that if like when you have if you've ever had like an injection, for example, in your arm, and you feel that when they press a syringe and you feel the flow of the liquid they put going through your veins.
Yeah.
When you massage, sometimes you get that same lightness and coolness feeling. Sometimes would that potentially be blood flow arriving to the muscle? Or not?
No,
Maybe
I
it's
don't.
just
I don't
me.
think so, because when you're injecting into the body, it's swollen because it does not go yet into the blood circulation. It's kind of stuck, and it takes time until it gets into the blood circulation.
Okay.
It's not something that I could say that you could feel suddenly, like, going into. But definitely, the muscle tension and the muscle not working properly, it's what we have every day. That's where someone come with a tight shoulder and you feel like, oh, it's tight. Then it is pretty much the same as what we're talking here.
Thank you.
And that's why one of the way to work it out is to improve blood circulation, pet massage, and getting the muscles to get relaxed and squeeze all the blood, because we want to improve the circulation. Interesting, huh? That it's kind of all the time is there, but we never think because we can't see the circulation in our body, but it's there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And it's kind of really, really easy to see, where you can see the skin is transparent and you can see the changes, how quickly it can go. Cool. Rojin, I think you've had a question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick one. In terms of how we would actually apply this knowledge as a massage therapist, is it just that we are likely to get clients who have done a lot of exercise and are coming to us with achy muscles, for example, and it's just good for us to have this understanding of what has the kind of biological processes that have actually contributed to those aches? Is that the main area where we would be using this knowledge?
I think it's actually not the main thing. The main thing will be people who are coming from with tension due to stress. That the similar scenario will happen, but not because of exercise, but because of tight shoulder or because of sedentary lifestyle. The muscles will not have enough circulation and tightness will happen. I think it's pretty much the most application that we will have as a therapist.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
The other one would be more of another situation, but I think that what I see in my place is more people with similar problem. Yeah. Emily, Manuela, Oksana, Rose, Patricia, Daniel, Gila, Margot, Nikolai, Esther. So far, let's put it this way. You reserve the right to ask questions further later. Okay? I don't know. You look suddenly very tired or sad or just what's that? So let's stop and then see how I want to get some feedback from you, how things are with you. And I will finish now. I will send you the recording in few days. And yeah, I'm here to help and to encourage you.
So a
Okay.
lot to take in, Draw.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. You know, I should never underestimate how much is it. And for me also, you know, suddenly I feel like, blimey, you put a lot for these students to learn. So, you know, as I've said, it's not it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. You will pass it, don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
good.
for someone that's not studied for a very, very long time
Oh,
to
okay.
study again, it's
All right.
it is
Oh,
it is a
okay.
lot, and with
All right.
work as well. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
all right.
taking it
Well,
all in.
I really appreciate you coming and spending these 2 hours. Hopefully, it was effective for you and useful. And yeah, looking forward to see you soon. And thank you very much. And have a great evening then.
Draw.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.